I am invisible. I have learned how to blend in so well with the environment that I am unseen by the human eye. I have been here for 3 hours. It's pretty sad, actually. Anyway, so at long last, I have finally finished, at least for the most part, there's still some polishing work and such, finished my first world in Unity, and so as such, for VRChat as well, I'm going to show it off now, so basically people can know kind of the thinking behind what the world is and such like that, because I haven't decided if I actually want to make the world public yet. But with that being said, we'll get into this, and by the end of it, maybe we can decide if it looks good enough to maybe make as a public world, if people could even want it as a public world, and such like that. So basically, you would spawn in back here. This is about the spawning area. Now, one of the things you'll notice right here, immediately, like right in front of you, without nothing else, are these podium-like, you know, basically podiums. I don't know a better word right now, sorry. But yeah, there's about 16 of them, because this world is actually inspired by Danganronpa, as a matter of fact. I've done past VRChat videos, I'm using the Monokuma avatar, and to the point, if you look up from the very bottom floor here, there's a giant Monokuma head. A little scuffed, because I kind of made this entire world using shapes and such within Unity. The only assets I imported, I believe, thinking about it, is like free assets, like the Mega Fantasy Pack and stuff like that, to get things like chairs, like you see over there, which we'll get to. But for the most part, this is all done with shapes, squares, cubes, cylinders, which is part of why I wanted to make a video about it, in case you kind of want to get into world building, don't know where to start and stuff like that. There are a few kind of more simpler things that you can actually do and create just based off like from just the regular stuff. Oh, that's scuffed. We'll fix that later. Anyways, so because it is based off of Danganronpa, I will go over like everything about the world, kind of my thinking behind making it. And the real thing was just kind of making my own kind of spawn home world. I've seen I have a couple friends. I don't know if any of them are online, perhaps. And even if they are, I don't think I can just go to their worlds despite being friends. So, oh hey, Xeon's on, that's cool. Let me see here. Yeah, I can't, probably definitely can if they're offline, so there's probably no point actually doing this either, as a matter of fact. But anyways, yeah, I have a couple of them have made like their own home worlds, and I was kind of like, well, I can only make my own home world, so why not? And so with that said, that's where this kind of comes into. So between understanding the simplicities of like using Unity to just, or the shapes and stuff to build stuff, and then of course Danganronpa, which I've been into for quite a bit now that I think about it. Let's go over this world, the thinking behind this world. This world and this video might be all over the place, so if you want clarity on something that I didn't show properly, hit me up in the comments, and let's just finally begin. So like I said, there's 16 of these, because it's based off of, like I said, that franchise. And in that franchise, I won't spoil anything, by the way, so if you're worried about spoilers, like I've kind of been interested about that, but I kind of don't want you to say anything critical. I'm not going to, trust me, I understand the thing. Almost everything in it is a spoiler, but this is like this, and for those that kind of know why, they know like a major kind of part in all of the games, you know why this exists like this, in a sense, right? For those that don't, one of the things I also want to note is these are supposed to be like, you know, like panels, TVs, what's the thing I'm trying to say, I guess, touch screens, kind of a thing like that on them. And I wanted to use a bloom effect for the lighting here, but it didn't actually work right now. I'm gonna try baking the map probably after recording this video, but in case that like ruins the map, I kind of wanted to show it beforehand, and there's that as well. So if we go over here, we have a makeshift kitchen. It's the only part that I actually put in like a wooden material on the floor, kind of a thing. Everything else kind of has like the black smooth for like everything else actually. We have a couple chairs around here, not quite 16 here though, it's just 8 actually, but all of this, for example, it's all made from shapes, whether it's like, you know, we took a cube and we flattened it a bit and turned it sideways and such like that. Like this is the refrigerator, we have like 2 drawers at the bottom and then the 2 doors that open here, all of the trimming even, like the white trim on the black, those are all cubes. Most of the kitchen actually is just cubes, as a matter of fact, so these are all like, you know, cabinets and panels and stuff like that. And then some parts are actually placeholders. So like this is a placeholder for an oven and a stove that until I learn how to do that, I've decided to put this here until then. And that's kind of one of the things about this world that we're going to notice a lot of as we go over it. A lot of it's kind of a placeholder kind of a thing, where there's some things that because I didn't know quite how to do yet, but because it kind of looks all right for now and it's my first world, that I decided let's just do it and, you know, see how we go. See where we go from there, and then we can always go back and edit and improve it later. One of the things that I am going to mention that is quote-unquote scuffed is there's a cylinder right here in the middle of these podiums, and if you try and stand on it, you float. And I kind of didn't fix that on purpose once I noticed it, because like if you don't have like a huge avatar and you're standing at these either with a group of people or by yourself, and maybe you're doing something with this area, I kind of want it to be that even if you have like a smaller avatar, you can still see something that's in the center. And so I kind of did it like this, so that way if something is either small or big that's also in the center, you have a good chance of seeing what it is from where you are without having to either get a bigger avatar or something like that. So just a note, that's something to note. I might fix it if it's deemed like actually bad to have, but since it's not so far, for the couple of people that I've had come in and give me some feedback on different things, I'm kind of leaving it as it is. Now, one thing that might be hard to notice, because I kind of debated if I wanted these to stand out more or not, is these are doors right here. So like you have like the white walls, the giant black slabs, and then you have this is a door. You go in it, and it's the bathroom. Again, all of it's made with shapes, which is kind of why, despite the fact that I don't think it's maybe necessarily anything super impressive compared to some of the things that people have done in VRChat with worlds and stuff, I'm kind of a little bit low-key proud of it, because it's just like, yeah, we made a tub over here, for example. Tub, drain, shower head up there, wall, shower curtain, even though there is no curtain because I actually don't know how to do that yet. Over here is a better example where this is like a stand-up shower, but I didn't know how to do glass doors yet one day, and as such I put this here, the framework, so when I ever figure that out I can update the world and do it. But there we go, we have both a shower and a tub, because why not? A mirror that's not actually a mirror, I kind of debated making a mirror here, but when you put multiple mirrors in a world, apparently that can make, increase lag and stuff like that and such. There is another mirror that we'll get to in this world. I decided this one, maybe not so much. You just get the idea that it is. If I ever get to the point, or if the world actually is like, maybe like small enough in terms of like megabytes and lag and stuff that it wouldn't be a problem, I'm down for putting in another mirror right here for a bit more realistic take. But, here's a countertop, some drawers, some shelves and stuff like that. And then you can go back out here. I'm so happy I learned how to do doors, by the way, because let me tell you, as we walk over to the next section, that was probably one of the most challenging things, because I did it, or when I was going through like troubleshooting, I thought I was supposed to use the like on enter trigger script to be able to actually do that. And that's the one where if you like walk into like a door, you'll go through it. But it wouldn't work, so I had to switch over to on interact, so that way when I go near a door like this, or if you ever in this world, because we decide, hey, yeah, we could make it public, it's good enough to make public, or you just think it'd be cool if you got the opportunity to explore it or use it yourself, so yeah, sure. It'll have this blue highlight around it, and it should say use with like the left click there, and there you go. So that's something that's pretty cool, and I think it works better. So there's another room down here. This is a bunch of empty space, because if I ever decide to make this world bigger, like this main room is one room and then I actually just expand on it, I kind of wanted to leave a couple places where I could actually do that. So there is this like empty hallway here that really doesn't have anything yet. But then there's this room way in the back corner here, and another example of a room that I kind of wanted to make with the bloom effect on the lighting panels. It didn't work again, like I said, probably have to bake it. And there's a chair here. It doesn't quite work if I try and put Monokuma in the chair. But if I put like a regular size, I've tested it with regular size avatars and they seem to fit pretty fine. And this is kind of like a little bit of a TV room or a possible something else room that I'll just leave it at that. Again, like I said, that might be an update that comes when I add bloom. If I figure out how to make that work, I think that'd be pretty cool to make these kind of like the glow effect, basically, that they kind of don't have. Like, they're definitely light. You can tell that they're kind of screens, but they're kind of, I don't know, a little bit basic, and I thought it'd be cool if I could maybe do more. Like, this is an example of more effort, if you will. Like, those eyes up there that are actually the left eye, I drew those, and then like in Photoshop did a little bit of editing and then made them into a file that I could insert as an asset into here. So that's something that's a bit more proud of, I guess I should say. Moving on though, as you probably noticed, because I kind of went right past it, there is this area too, so you could jump up here and you can kind of observe all the podiums over there if you wanted to from an angle like this. And yeah, again, if I try to sit on this, it'd be like really weird for small avatars. I've tried adjusting like the collider and the box and the stuff like that to make it better, but for some reason it doesn't quite work like that. So, I'll keep messing around with it, but for now, that's kind of all of the bottom floor except for this final corner. Which case, I kind of decided to see, putting a bunch of shapes together, what can I make in terms of like a pillar design, if you will, and I kind of came up with that. Like I said, it's simplistic, and that's kind of the point of, again, why I'm making this video. If you've kind of been wanting to get into Unity, like I have one friend who's been kind of wanting to get into world making, but maybe doesn't necessarily know how to use Unity. So it's like, okay, well, one of the things to note is that it probably looks a lot more complicated than it is, especially the interface for Unity. I don't remember the exact rule, but there's like this is a washer and dryer, by the way. I should have said that. But yeah, this is the washing machine. This is a dryer, all made with like, you know, just spheres, flattened cylinders and stuff like that. Not saying that it looks like fantastic or anything like that, but if it's just like, hey, if you have the time, of course, because it is time consuming, these are things that you watching could probably do even if you have literally no Unity experience. And that's kind of what I want to encourage you. If you're someone like my friend that I was mentioning that kind of wants to get into it, you probably can. And you'll probably even do better than I did with my first world here, right? This is kind of like a living room area, I guess, where you come up the ramp here with the kitchen being right there. And there's like a bunch of couches. I thought about giving them armrests and stuff, but it didn't really look right. And since I, again, don't really know how to import and use like really great assets and stuff, the kind of thematic here, if you will, was making everything by scratch. You know, this is a TV. I kind of just went, you know, without doing that. There are places you can sit here too. I was able to insert some chairs in a bunch of these, and that was pretty cool. But yeah, the idea behind this world too was just, like I said, a home world, a spawn world, kind of based off of Monokuma, kind of based off of Danganronpa, because why not? That's the avatar I've been using the entire time I've been playing this game for over a year now, or actually about a year now. So there's that, and I thought, you know, that'd be pretty cool. Again, here's another door, which means it leads somewhere. Kind of quote-unquote makeshift bedroom. Now, it's funny because this quote-unquote bed is actually 2 cubes and then a capsule turned sideways and flattened a bit to make it look like a pillow. But I kind of, funny enough, another game where you can kind of build stuff in a creative mode, Minecraft, has kind of inspired me a little bit how to actually even do the bed. Where if you've ever like played Minecraft and you didn't actually have like the bed ability, you'd put like 2 or even just 1 like white cotton wool blocks together and then put like 4 to 6 of a certain color next to them to make it look like a bed. So that was pretty, you know, kind of a throwback kind of idea. Here's a table over here. It's a standing table. Like maybe you haven't noticed, but especially Let's Players and some of the animators on YouTube, they kind of use tables and setups where they're kind of actually standing, and it gives them just more mobility and stuff to react to stuff and such like that. So with like a regular size avatar, you'd be able to stand and see over the table like just fine. Again, another TV, a couple drawers. Thinking about adding more in this room, not quite there yet. Continuing the tour. Again, I wanted to experiment with some shapes and stuff, so I gave this part a railing for 2 reasons. 1, just for the experience, but 2, if you're trying to get all the way to the top, which we're on our way to, like if you fall off here, it might kind of suck a little bit, but like you get back up right over there with the ramp, come around, you're back up here. Once you get to about here, especially because there's a turn, no real wall, like on the cliff part, it's very easy to fall off, and I was like, well, if I put a railing there, if you're sprinting or something, it should be a little bit harder to fall off until you get back to this ramp where you can use this wall to maybe balance yourself if you're sprinting to get back up. So then we get to this floor, which originally was going to be what I called the portal floor, if you wanted to have room to drop a portal because you wanted to go to a different place, and you didn't want to be near a cliff or anything like that. It was just going to be a bunch of empty space. You still can, but I decided to move this and then clone it and make another one over there. For those who have been watching some of my older VRChat videos when I did like discussions and stuff in this room, the center used to kind of be kind of blank, except it had that flattened cylinder that was actually on top of it, and then that ramp was actually over there, like the chair and the pyramid there didn't even exist. And there, it was kind of like that. It was before I learned how to add like jumping scripts and player mods and stuff like that, where I wanted to make sure from the center of the room you could get to everything. Now that I know how to do jumping, we're jumping right now, I decided to change that, so there we go. Now here, just for a little bit of entertainment, I kind of made a little bit of a platforming section, if you will. So I did make the jump in the player mod script to 5, as a matter of fact. And there you go. You can jump up these. They're pretty easy to jump up off. Let's say I can talk right now. Especially if you're a taller, thing. Monokuma's like 2 foot tall. So it's a lot difficult to do stuff with them than it is maybe some other people. But there you go. On top of that, you can actually walk up most of that until you get to like that 3rd platform that's kind of out there a bit. Pretty easily. So this is actually just a giant wall with a frame around it because I found out also how to do a mirror script. One of the most, successful things to add to a world to make it successful, to make it a loved world, is obviously a giant mirror for people to stand in front of and AFK of. A giant mirror, you put it in the world, people can AFK in front of it for hours at a time, and obviously that is a good feature because people do like to do that. I'm not even throwing shade. I'm just saying, like, people do, either they were world hopping for a while for like 5 hours and now they kind of just want to chill, whatever the case is, putting a mirror in there, that's something that people can do. And I made sure to make it quite big because apparently when I, kept updating this world and stuff, it said it can actually hold 40 people. So it's like, in case 40 people ever ended up in here, well then there you go. It's a mirror with, capacity for 40 people, hopefully to be able to see each other. And so there's that. I don't know if that's going to show up, unfortunately. So anyways, now we're getting towards the top of the world, which originally there wasn't even all this. I was just going to leave this kind of barren, so that way you just look up and you just see that up there and it'd be kind of intimidating, and that was that. But I decided to make this over here. Again, like I said, another feature. If I decide to make this world bigger one day or expand off of just this room, this is kind of like a placeholder for where I would put an elevator, or I guess quote unquote elevator, in terms of like the world itself. So you can go to other places. Again, I put this on the side because I'm kind of proud of being able to have drawn that and then digitize it a bit with some effects and stuff in Photoshop. Which then leads us, of course, to the giant Monokuma head itself. One of the things you will notice about it, especially this close, is the left eye is actually put on a cylinder that I flattened as best I could to try and form it around the head. When you have the asset, which is basically a picture file, I tried, putting it on a, let's say, cylinder, or not a cylinder, a sphere, so I can make it more rounded and into the head more, but it just would never work no matter what I tried. It always would look this janky to make the eye an appropriate size. Like, I could make it work if I made the left eye super small, but as we saw in the mirror down there, like, it's a pretty noticeable feature of this character. So I kind of was like, okay, I'll do it this way, and it'll kind of look like this, and I don't know, after a while I kind of actually liked how it ended up looking. Again, it's probably because it's my first Unity world that there's certain corners and stuff that I guess I'm cutting, but I also just kind of like, so there is that too, but that's kind of it. So obviously, the only thing I guess I will spoil that no one will care if I spoil, even if you haven't played it and want to play it, is this is not like an actual, you don't have to worry about if you are watching this video, like I don't want the recommended to start showing stuff about this. This is not like an actual world from like any of the games. This is like a home world that I made based off of it. And I was kind of thinking about stuff like, okay, well what would be the function of this? Just period, I guess. So I guess I decided to make this like think of it like a bunker, I guess, where you'd come underground. So there's, the elevator that would take you here. You'd actually have all that down there. A kitchen with a bunch of food, washer, dryer, room, bathroom, other room down there with a glowing screen for some reason, TV, mirror for any friends that you might have, etc, etc. So think of it like that. And of course a makeshift trial room right there, because why not? Sometimes you kind of just want to throw on a trial for whatever reason. Who knows why? I don't know why. I'm not going to tell you why. You do you. Live your life. But anyways, yes, that is now. And then of course I had to make a pun. I had to make a bear pun. So the name of the world, after I just fell all the way down, that's great, I named it Mono Hibernation. But the instead of Burr Nation, it's Bear Nation. Awkward silence, because that's not a good joke, but somebody might have laughed, and as such I say thank you, I appreciate it. So there is that, right? And because it's the winter, right? So the bear is hibernating for the winter. Hi Bear, like hi H-I, Bear Nation, like how people will call their fan base a nation. But it's also hibernation because of the this joke is going bad fast. I'm just gonna stop it. Anyways, that's all for this video. This is what I've been working on in Unity. I'm for some reason proud of it, even though, like I said, there's definitely parts that need to be worked on. I did have some friends come through. I opened it up to a Friends Plus instance, and for the most part, it was actually positive feedback, with like a few things here and there I could clean up. And so that's what I'll end the video on. Is if you're watching this video this far, thank you for putting up with me. Thank you for putting up with the world. Because if you are someone who's good at Unity, you probably saw maybe a lot of things that might have been mad about this, but didn't say anything, and I appreciate it. But finally, furthermore, also should I actually make the world public? Because a lot of the friends that I have that actually don't have their worlds public, and maybe I, if the world isn't considered like a world that would be something that people would maybe want, I don't necessarily have to make it public, and then I could live with the scuff myself, because I can live in my own mess. But like, I guess part of why I installed some of these functions was thinking about, well, what if people did want it public? Even if it's not super popular, that's fine. But like, maybe there's someone watching this video right now that's actually a huge like Danganronpa fan. They can overlook some of the stuff like this scuffed left eye and be like, yeah, I kind of totally want to play this game and be able to go to this world for whatever reason. I'm like, okay, well then I need to, clean up some stuff, especially in that, instance. And as such, yeah, comment below then if that's the case for you. Either way is fine. I'm just kind of showing this off again, primarily because I have never worked with Unity, and working on Unity was very fun. It was a very fun experience. It was very fun making everything, testing things, going through different iterations of what did and didn't work. And there's still technically one final, oh, this is uneven. Well, that's nice to know. There's definitely the one thing where I gotta go bake the lights to see if I can maybe make those like panels and like TV touchscreens glow a bit more better, because I think that would be like a nice final touch on the world, but if not, thank you for watching this video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification, the actual subscribe button. I can't do Monokuma's voice. Don't ask me to do Monokuma's voice. Maybe one day I'll learn it if there's enough. If there's enough people that want me to, I'll try. But if I try and do his voice now, A, it'll sound like a messed up Mickey Mouse, and B, it'll hurt my throat, and then C, it won't be accurate, so it'll just be kind of terrible. So this is why I just use my regular voice at the time. So you know, there's that too. So I'm just gonna end it right there. Just maybe one day, not right now. I got distracted because I can't tell if the thing on the left there is scuffed, or is it that I'm looking at it through the mirror? It might be both, and so I don't know, part of me, I'm taking notes while I'm going through this to look at things when I open the project back up in Unity, maybe that I could clean up as I did this tour here, so there is that too. I promise you, I'm not trying to drag out this video very long in case you are someone who's trying to watch the whole thing. I don't want this to be something that you gotta sit down, make some popcorn to watch, or anything like that. So with that being said, thank you so much for watching this video once again. I don't know which video will be next, we're just gonna have to wait and see. So until next time, take care, and enjoy pizza responsibly. That's totally scuffed in the corner. Oh no. But it's not scuffed when I turn around and look at it. It's a ghost. A goose, if you will. Oh, that is... we got some work to do. I'll see you all later. Apparently I gotta get... Oh, oof. We gotta get back to work.